to do that. So I'll continue from here. So this was kind of introduction. What I really like or aim is in my work as a journalist is to find a positive deviant. I was in a conference with several journalists where the topic was, it's always migration, it's politics, it's corruption, etc. And they conducted a study in Europe, I mean, including UK, where they found out that a lot of people don't want to read news because they are too negative. It's horrible or scary, and it just makes you feel bad. So now there is a new movement in these journalistic waters, let's say, where they're trying to define a positive deviant. But what is that? That is a response to a social problem that stands out from other responses because it appears to really lead to better outcomes. So how to make news or information in a way that it doesn't scare, that it doesn't, cause drama or, this, let's say, media wars between people with different opinions. So I thought migration is a really great example for that. If you read Hope's story, this story is actually real. And it happened in 2012. And this is Bila. This is the supermarket where he stood and was selling these megaphones. And now, okay, this is now nice. This was probably taken in summer. But in winter, and I mean in January, December, you have really, I don't know, at least 30 centimeters of snow. So it's nice, but it's cold. And then you see somebody like that there standing 8 hours per day. It's really disturbing. Okay, today maybe not, but at the time this was disturbing. So that's how this story began, exactly in front of this Bila shop. So that you know that this is really true. This is the image from the baptism which happened. So this is Hope. This is me. And this is my partner, who is really a gift, because I don't know who would put up with stories and researches like that. It wasn't maybe the most normal thing to do, but well, it happened. It was definitely a good observation lesson, and also a lesson to understand better how hard it is if you are, let's say, migrant, but not just a migrant, illegal migrant from Africa, for example, in the Central European territory. The situation got much stricter, but we will come to that in a few seconds. So, as you know, in Austria, it's a country where everything should work perfectly, especially if it's, connected to some sort of bureaucracy or bureaucratic procedure. So I copied that here. It's a beautiful brochure. The link is here. I'll share it and show it to you. Let me finish that. So let's say when you come, let's say you are a migrant, maybe even illegal or in a hurry, or you want to find your asylum, and for some reason you land in Austria. The first thing which will happen, I think I copied it here, is, okay, you will be arrested, and because no documents, no nothing, you'll be then sent to, you will have to fill out the asylum application. There is a special unit, as you can see. They will want to have your registration, name, nationality, and they will also provide you an interpreter. Interpretation, as we learned in last session, is really, a dodgy thing, because there are languages and translators where it's not clear if the translation is good enough or appropriate or real, especially in some languages. Then you'll have initial interview with the police person. They will take your identification. I was lucky enough to see all that, how this looks like, and it's really, yeah, like you would be a criminal. You have your, you have your datothek, and that's it. The next thing is, then you will be sent to some sort of detention center with all others. And then it will be, decided if you will be accepted to stay or if your application will be rejected. But this takes some time. Now it got much faster in 2020, but when this was happening in 2002, you still needed to wait months for, sorry, for the reply. So here it goes, procedure accommodation. So you are then, okay, you somehow manage, to stay in Austria, and then you will be sent to this detention center. You will get letter of notification, and if needed, you might be even transferred to responsible EU member state if everything goes according to the protocol and this idea. But this is often not the case. The second option is, for example, let's say if it's negative and they decide immediately, okay, you have to go, it's no chance you won't stay. Austrians are really effective in this way. But if it's kind of positive and you have to wait, okay, then you will wait, then it will be the process. You will even get some money, which is, I think, what is a accommodation provider 90 euros per day, asylum seeker gets 40 euros per month. That's what they get. Also, they sort out your kids that they go to schools, and I think you don't have access to work without a permit, but you have access to be volunteer. But that's, okay, if you're genuine, it's fine. But if you came for some other reason, like earn money, get better life, this is not good. And that was, for example, it's not good. It's not what maybe people expect when they arrive. And then it goes next. You get your answer, which can be positive, negative. If it's negative, you have a chance to appeal, and then if the second appeal is negative, then obviously your journey from where you came from will be organized. That doesn't mean it runs that smoothly as maybe some officials imagine this could be, because we are humans, and then everybody, let's say somebody who managed to come that far, of course this person won't be happy just to go from A to B. Okay, I'm negative, I have to go home. In this case, then issues happen. We've worked on several projects. I wrote here a nightmare for bureaucrats, money for the NGOs, and the result is what? In Graz, you have to imagine Graz is small, it's second largest city in Austria, but that means only 230,000 people. We have around between 15 and 20 NGOs just dealing with the migrants, and migration, it's not even a problem in Graz, not at the moment. So the question for certain projects was, so we tried to decide, okay, what are actually the existing issues? Too many, underfunded public and private bodies, too much cash spread too widely. Obviously, if you have 20 NGOs doing the same thing, there is always a struggle, because you need personnel, you need your employees, and they need to earn money. Nobody will do that for free. Message is sometimes not really focused. So, okay, yeah, we want to help, but then you have agencies which help psychologically. The other ones goes into, providing you with food and clothes and so on. So no clear mandatory channels of integration between migrants and state. That's a problem, because a lot of migrants, especially those who are, already waiting for the second answer, are illegal. So they want to stay away from everything. It's lack of transparency, because of people like, I used to be helping an individual, but did I help? I think I did, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I was a problem. And there is no value for money. So, and then our solution was, good people don't always know how to fit in. Bad people don't always know when it's time to leave. And the organization mean well, but don't always account well. So actually this project wasn't action, but this was kind of, proposed to do. So when I read the feedback from some colleagues who read the story, they say, people don't care for people like Hope. He's nothing, at least you tried. It's nice of you. Somebody said, nice story, publish it. I don't think it's ready for publishing, but it's definitely ready to work on it. And this was really good feedback. I thought it was very interesting, because the characters were so well described. They were from very different worlds, and because of that, Although they both wanted the same thing, their ways of trying to succeed were also very different, nor did they understand each other. Hope concentrated solely on getting a permanent place in Austria, but what means he could. But the woman, although she knew more about the process, was also preoccupied with making the perfect file, thinking that if she did that, Hope's permission to stay in Austria would follow. In the end, it was Hope who succeeded. Moral, unconventional methods, though not always acceptable and used by people who are ignorant of what they are doing, can succeed. Hope was illegal. So I think it's quite it's a bit harsh, but I think, yeah, it's also, exactly this opinion. Yeah, he was illegal, but I don't know. So my question in all this is, are helpful people helpful, or are they part of the problem? Maybe this is something what we can, keep in mind when we start discussion. Then I went and, this is just a thought process. Is this, if you want to help somebody like Hope, for example, is this help complex, or is it a saint? Do you want to be a saint? Do you want to do something good just to feel good? Or is it a basic human instinct? If you research media a little bit, you will notice that people call Nazi, people are called Nazi these days, or everybody who in a way doesn't agree with the mainstream media. Quite often is that the case. And the other ones call others the socialists. So socialist kind of thinks refugees are welcome here, and it's often childless. So this is just research and topics for this thought process. I personally don't have any real side or opinion, because that's for me really important to stay away from everything and look on it from a certain angle, where you can then and just observe what the media is doing and what is the people's opinion often. So your thoughts, experience, and suggestions, it's our Q&A. I will now stop sharing that. And yeah, I welcome you to share your thoughts or experiences. Is there anything that you would like to say or share? And you should be really free, because it's open discussion.
So maybe you could explain how you helped Hope. I mean, what exactly happened?
Did you read the story?
Okay. So I thought I read the title, but no. Okay, no, I didn't read the story.
I sent the story.
Okay.
Yeah, which was okay. In 2 minutes, I can make it really, really quickly. I shared the story. It's kind of 20 pages, and I described it, as a short story, basically. I met him, and at the time I was working in a theater group as well, which was dealing with migrants. Each year, for example, in Austria, you get a topic, and topic for 2011-12 was migration. That means if you are active in culture or anything like that, NGO, you will get your subvention, you will get your money if you deal with the topic. So we dealt with the topic because there was the money. It's just like that. And we had stories from different migrants. How they fit in Austria, what hurdles do they have, what are the issues, and so on. And at the same time, I was waiting for my job in South Africa, and the contract was postponed, and it was just, oh gosh, and I needed a job because I couldn't just wait and sit. So I found a quick job in a call center, which was kind of, oh no, not call center, that's, not right. But okay, I said, fine, I'll do it. And then I have really this luck that I could walk to work. So I passed this villa, which I showed you, and he was there. And it was winter, and he was always selling this Megaphon. Megaphon, it's kind of, what do homeless people sell here in England? I can't hear you, Christine.
A big issue.
Yeah, okay, something like that, similar to that. So they were selling Megaphone, and then Megaphone at the time was, I think, was €3 or something like that, and they sell one Megaphone, they keep €1 or something, and then they do that because that's obviously the only cash which they can get legally. And then obviously I started to speak with him, and he told me well, he didn't tell me everything, but he told me that he's waiting for his asylum, and somehow we got confidence and trust, and then I helped him, to go, from one lawyer to another, because he had a second appeal. Okay. And of course he was scared, because he thought every time when police knocks on his door, he'll be deported or something like that. Okay. And then I help him with the German course. I try to involve him into cultural activities where he could earn some money, but also to integrate. And one of the things was that obviously he was also asking, yeah, why don't you marry me, and stuff like that. Well, listen, I won't marry you because it won't happen, right? I'm not here for that. And by the way, I am, in my happy partnership. So then I introduced him to my partner and everything, and he was totally impressed with his English. And as a Nigerian, he had this idea, wow, England, colony, the Queen. He was talking about Queen Victoria, by the way. And
Yeah.
Okay. So then he got the answer about, his appeal, and it was negative, and he was super scared. We went to Vienna. In the meanwhile, he was baptized because he expressed his wish for religion. And I thought, okay, if he gets baptism, okay, at least he will have one document that shows integration. It might help. Totally stupid, I know, but I decided to tell you the honest story. And it's all described in this document, which I sent.
Very interesting.
Okay, at the end, I went to the police department where they deal with, all these illegals. I had a chat with the lady. She told me that she got caught in doing naughty things after only a few weeks being in Austria. He got a file. If you have a file and do naughty things in Austria, it's over. There is no way. There's zero way that you will be, nothing. You are gone. And then, as life is so, one day, and then, okay, he left. I said, I can't help you anymore. And then I left as well. And he then migrated. For some reason, I don't know how, he managed to go to Spain, because in Spain, you can easily get this permit. Spain is in the EU. Apparently, Mr. Lucky helped him. I don't know who is Mr. Lucky. I don't even want to know about that. He got the permit and came back to Austria. And then I don't know what happened to him, because then I moved, I was in South Africa, and after that I came here. So that's more or less the story.
Okay. Didn't he get into Austria at the end?
At the end, he
did get via Spain.
Yes.
I thought. Yeah.
Yes.
Incredible.
Incredible. It's but he's always saying, with God everything's possible. I said, listen, it's Austrian system and politics, migration politics. It doesn't think that God will help you. See, with God everything's possible. And obviously it is. I'm joking today, but that was an amazing experience, which I would never want to repeat. That's
Can I ask you, Romana, where was he from exactly?
He was from Nigeria, from the south.
Okay, I'm not sure exactly which part of the continent that is. What an amazing messenger. What an amazing coincidence that he became friends with you for a short while.
Yeah.
That way, that's so coincidental. I can only think that perhaps he was trying to connect you with maybe the German language society and bring it full circle with all of the people that tune into your webinars to communicate with you. I think he's put you in the spotlight a bit.
I think I think that people in this situation are not really feeling great, right? Because we I don't know everything what happened there, right?
Mm.
And I just think he needed some person who genuinely didn't want anything from him, like nothing, just to make it happen,
Mm.
And
Yes.
what he said is he needs this positivity, because
Where was
Wherever
he?
he went.
Where did his baptism take place? Was it in Graz itself?
It was in Graz.
Goodness me! I wonder what drove him to go from where did you say Nigeria?
Yeah.
From Nigeria to Graz. Some people have private jets. You know, Lord knows what transports he took, but
how did he arrive from Nigeria? Did he tell you?
Yeah. At the end, I mean, sure, he told me, but is it true? I don't know. He came by boat to Greece, and from there, somebody picked him up and took him to Austria. He doesn't know who. Of course, he knows, but why would he tell me that?
Smuggler.
Yeah.
And when did he arrive? When did
Wait
he
a minute, Christine, you are on mute. Yeah.
Angelique wanted to speak first, I think.
Yeah, Angelique. Mhm.
No, I just asked when did he arrive in Austria?
That was in 2011.
Ah, okay, before the migration, right?
Yeah,
Things
2011.
were easy at the time.
Mhm.
I'm so happy that he met you because it seems to be an incredible story.
Christine?
Yeah, but he actually was baptized twice, wasn't he? Once in there's one with the Nigerian Baptist Church, I think.
Yeah.
I did read, and
Yeah.
then you thought, well, it ought to be in the was it a Catholic church, probably?
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
So that you felt that would help him
Yes.
integrate, show that he integrated, and also you paid for him to go to German lessons, didn't you?
Yeah.
Or assuming it's you, yeah.
No, you sure? No, it's all me. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this I have to say that these German classes are provided by these NGOs, which are really good. And for a month you pay 40 euros, which is not that much. But as I said, I was smoking cigarettes at the time. So I said, fine, maybe I should stop and pay this course, because I really wanted, to see if somebody like that has actually a chance. Can you, if you do everything by the book, can you succeed?
Well, it depends why you really are there, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
And did he lie to you or didn't tell you the whole truth, did he?
No.
What do you know what you may not be able to say what the crime was he committed?
Yeah, I can tell you, but wait a minute.
You didn't find out till the end, did you?
No, well, so that
Mm.
so that was the reason. And of course, who wants to say something like that,
No,
but
not going to tell you, are they? No.
no. And then I was able to see, and actually he was lucky that this happened at the time, that it wasn't that much, because this, let's say this would be successful, this would continue, and then he wouldn't even get any other possibility to do anything. And the other chance which made him, which was positive in this case, was that he actually was not 18 years old. I mean, according to whatever he said.
Yeah, because you said he was sort of 17, but he looked much older.
Yeah. But my partner needed to explain that to me, because I didn't care. For me, it was whatever. You can be 50 years old and pretend you're 5. Can we please deal with this documentation now? And yeah, of course. And that's it, that's how it is.
Yeah.
What was the reason why he went to Austria, or he went as an asylum seeker?
Didn't say. Because the person with the car brought him there. It all starts with this boat journey. Let's say the boat journey is real, I don't know, but I assume it is. So whoever arranged this trip, he was then, they drove, the person or people who helped him, they knew exactly where they should, take him. And then, imagine this is night, it's winter, and he lands somewhere in Linz. Linz is not exactly, the best city in Austria. And then he just get dumped in front of this detention center.
He's got to be a trafficker that he met up with, surely, because Nigeria is quite a long way down West Africa, the big fat bulgy bit, down.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I wonder how he got from there to Greece.
By
if he had
boat.
money. Well, you got to cross a lot of land before.
Yeah.
I think
Like the whole Mediterranean. I mean, he might have gone up through. Well, the Sahara's in the way for a start. So.
I think he got a boat from Lagos, or Lagos, Lagos,
okay.
and then from there.
Up to the Mediterranean. Well, you said Greece. He might be.
Piraeus,
Yeah,
apparently.
yeah.
Mm.
Okay, he didn't go through Turkey.
But you see, it's you will never. I mean, I'll never know, because it's.
Well, he wouldn't want to go to Turkey because it's not in the EU. They're usually looking to get into the EU, aren't they? So.
But it's easier to reach Greece from Turkey because it's not far, to the islands.
No, quite. Yeah.
It's more unusual to take it around the Mediterranean to go to Piraeus. But of course, 2011 is a different. It's before the migration.
Yeah. This was that, and in Graz, if you check a bit, statistics there about 1,000 Nigerians, and majority are like Hope. I mean, it's not I checked what did they say, and but they've been coming for for a while. So now their communities are also developing. Now you have already children, and then this is already better integrated. And of course now with all these changes, and I don't know if you read a bit about Austria. It was attack in Vienna not so long ago. I really say often about Austria, if you're a migrant or illegal or whatever, don't go there, because it's too hard. I mean, I know how this sounds, but just avoid. Central Europe is not your place where you want to be if something's not okay.
No.
Definitely not. And now you have it. Now you had this attack in Vienna. Now we have this Sebastian Kurz, who is totally, into favor of Austrian people, which is okay, I guess. But, if something happens in Austria, then you get this. Now we have to research. Now we have to get rid of it. It's too much. And the thing is that Austrians don't just speak. They actually take action. For example, since then, they already organized a special schooling for all the preachers, like imam preachers. Now they have to attend a certain schoolings, and they want to now decide who is okay, who is not. And then, I think it's fine, but it's just this won't, I feel really sorry for everybody who has pure intention and follows the law and everything, because they say, no, not everybody's the same. But this is a bit, difficult in Austria. Because
it's also very difficult because they often get sold stories by the traffickers. They're going to the promised land, so they go along with it because they just keep telling them it'll be absolutely wonderful, and they don't. Often they don't often arrive with papers because the traffickers take the papers away.
Yes.
So, which is not how they set out, and probably I don't know how well educated he was, or or you don't know. I mean, it is a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. And some, of course, are you don't know the background, are often economic migrants, so they're not actually can't seek asylum. They can't do that. So it's an ever-growing problem. And Romania gets lots of people. They've got 3 UNHCR, right, because they're the first country into EU. When you come around all the way from Africa, working your way around and through the Middle East, and you can come across, as you were saying, across the Turkey and into Romania. And they have 3, it's not a very big country, UNHCR transit camps there. So we Institute of Linguists, we did a interpreting division, did a whole week there talking to them. They wanted some help about how to interpret and so on. And because, you know, most of the people that turn up are totally traumatized. So they take sometimes up to 12 interviews before they even speak.
Yes,
And then you've got the language. Do you know the language? And it's, you know, it's just, I mean, just one small thing, but it's a major thing, is how you stand, how you set the room up when you're interpreting for people like that, because you've got to stand absolutely neutral, how you put your hands, because they think you're your friend because you can understand that you're not. And it was quite interesting with we were given a place, one of the NGOs, in this room for a whole week, so we were safe, and people gave up their holidays and had babysitters, and we did a whole week of that. It was a real eye-opener, obviously. But these people just wanted to help. And the lady running this, you know, this NGO and involved with the transit camps was just incredible, what the things she managed to do and so on. But it was quite mind-boggling how they arrived, what they had sold, body parts, children, everything. And, you know, it's just gruesome. I don't know. You just wonder why they can't get at the traffickers.
Yeah.
I've got something that might be a little bit more interesting. It might be a total lead balloon and just completely sink in the ocean without a trace. But I was in Garmisch-Partenkirchen in Bavaria, in Germany, in around 1993, something like that. And at about maybe 2-3 early hours of the morning, AM, I was walking past a bakery, and I went into the bakery with a friend, some odd reason, probably the smell of bread. And I went in and I said, hi, what's going on? And there was someone who looked like he was from Africa in the bakery. Anyway, somebody gave us some of these fresh Brötchen, you know, these bread rolls. Very nice when they're completely fresh, and they were completely fresh at that time of day, time of night really. And we went away, and little did I realize that this entire interchange between myself and somebody who looks like he was from Africa baking bread in the bakery resulted in a scene inside the film called The Bourne Identity, starring Matt Damon, in which the African leader is debating his political situation, and he's eventually sorry, it's my son actually, and he's eventually removed. The life of this African activist is ended by Clive Owen, an assassin played by Clive Owen. So Clive Owen removes this African politician from the plot of the film. And I just thought that was interesting. The Bourne Identity, I don't know if you've seen it. Amazing, interesting film. So it's not always that there isn't hope for African plot lines and African situations. As I say, with the situation I've described, I thought there was a teensy weensy bit of hope in the plot.
Yeah. Well, so Angelique, thank you for sharing it. Angelique, you said you work with also with this kind of topic, right?
Yes, I mean, I'm in policy, so I don't work, if you want, directly with migrants. I don't have the experience you have. Okay, I visited camps, but I'm in migration policy, and I'm in integration, actually, integration of migrants in the EU. So
what do you do? Let's say, what's your task? What are your tasks?
Well, we are a team of 7 policy officers. It's for the European Commission, and we manage projects for integration. Now we published, 2 days ago, it's an action plan for integration and inclusion of migrants. The second one, the previous one was 2016. So in this plan, you have guidelines and you have actions as well, and we try to implement the actions together with the member states. And the integration policy is a member state's competence. So it's not something, there's no legislation, and there's a lot of funding. So member states apply for funding, or organizations apply for funding, like Austria. There's a call now, for instance, open until February, where there are 4 strands for integration. So this is what we do. I mean, and then of course we cooperate. We select projects. We monitor the projects. So this is what we do. But of course we follow the news. We follow what's going on. And now there's a new migration pact, which was presented, and there's no yet. Well, it's a very delicate issue. So this is a discussion in the council, and there are countries which don't agree, and mainly the Visegrad countries, Poland and Hungary and Austria actually is not very happy with that.
No. I know.
We'll see what happens, because what we ideally would like to have quotas per member state. They tried to do it in the past, so that they share the migrants, because there are some countries who geographically are exposed. You have Greece, Italy, Spain. They are geographically exposed, and they get many more migrants. So we believe that this should be shared in Europe. And there are countries who don't accept that. So like Hungary and Poland, for instance, and Austria now. And now we try to establish another mechanism that the countries who don't want to take migrants to share, they have to support, organize the return of the illegal migrants, for instance, which is another big issue. And one of the, you mentioned, Christine, about the documents, that the smugglers take the documents. What happens often is that the migrants themselves throw away the documents.
Yeah, I know.
So that they don't know where they come from, and then it's much more difficult to return them if they don't know where they come.
Absolutely.
And the other issue with the return is that the countries of origin don't cooperate for returns. Very often they don't cooperate. And now there try to be agreements, support development projects, link that to their acceptance, to take back their nationals. So there are initiatives there. I don't think personally that this is the solution. And anyway, there are very few returns. So all these the illegal migrants, illegal, the ones whose asylum application has been rejected, they disappear very often because they don't want to be returned. Exactly, it's very good illustration. So, well, he was able to go to Spain and apply there. Now it wouldn't have been possible, because now once you register somewhere, the databases are connected. So in Spain, they would have known that he applied for asylum in Austria and it was rejected. At the time, that was not possible. So now they know, because we have the databases, which are, all the information is there. And once you have applied for asylum in one country, you cannot apply in another EU country. It's not possible. So there are, but it's a very difficult subject, because of course these people, they're miserable. It's lives behind, and even if they're economic migrants, even that, they live. Why do they live? Because for a better future, and it means that they want to flee misery, and then they don't get asylum, because you need to flee war to get asylum, to be really in danger. So it's all it's a very difficult story. I personally, I would be open to migration. I would open borders, if you want my personal story and my personal opinion. But of course, governments, and especially populist governments, are very much against.
Yeah,
Can I ask Angelique a question? Yeah. Obviously, the EU regulations say that migrants are supposed to be accepted. If they arrive in a country, they are supposed to be processed there. That's the EU law. But as you were talking about, Hungary and Poland and so on. So what I've always wondered is there can't be any. They can't be taken to task, the countries, can they? In the sense that if you've broken the rule about you're supposed to then process them in there and not let them chase them out to probably bit through to Austria and all the rest of it. What is there? Is there no punishment or penalty? Is the proper word for a country?
The problem is there would be if that was legislation, but in order for legislation to pass, all countries should agree. So they don't agree. This is why this pact does not pass for the moment. So what this rule that you have to apply, it's called the famous Dublin. Maybe you heard about it. Because migration policy, anyway, Dublin is a very famous word. It means it was agreed in Dublin. And it means, according to Dublin, every migrant, every person entering the EU to apply asylum should apply at the port of entry. But at the time, that was manageable. Greece didn't have this amount. Italy didn't have, it was manageable. Maybe there were a few more than somewhere else, but still, no. I mean, who wants to go to Greece? Everybody wants to go to Germany and to the north, and to the UK. So it was not an issue at the time. But now with this, all this this wave we had since 2015, then it became an issue, and it became a burden for the countries who are, geographically more exposed and get many more migrants, and have tens of thousands and more than that. So this is why this migration pact will try to change this Dublin regulation and share migrants. So with relocation means that they arrive in Greece and in Italy, but certain numbers will go to the other countries, and then they will apply for asylum there. But this is not accepted. I mean, if it becomes legislation, if it is voted by the council, then of course you can apply sanctions to member states who don't respect the commitment. But if it's not voted, so now they negotiate. So we'll see what happens. I mean, we see what happens with this negotiation, because they're very negative. And all quotas, for instance, in this proposal are not, there are no compulsory quotas, which is also very,
So what about Karina or Sue or Chel?
Sue's had to go, I think. She had to take a course, she said.
Yeah. No,
I don't know, is she back?
No.
What experience do you have? Maybe, I don't know if you're all from here or from other countries.
Well, no, I'm not from England. I'm not from the UK. So I'm a foreigner myself. It's tricky for me. It's tricky to have an opinion on migrants. I think I myself came here because I was escaping economic crisis in Argentina, one of the many. But when I came, I mean, we were not so desperate in saying, well, we need to escape because we were facing persecution, for example, or persecution or something like that. So our lives were not at risk. But we came, I came because my husband was, at the time was British. So there was some, and there were some ties. There was some sort of plan. I was studying in a university in the UK. It was a distance learning program, and that was probably one of the reasons why we moved here, because if we stayed in Argentina, we wouldn't have been able to finish the masters. So I get that people want to move to improve their lives, but I think there should be sort of a safety net, and I feel for those who make the leap or take the leap to move because they've been either because they want to escape their financial hardships in their country where they are, or their lives are at risk, and they follow people blindly because they've been tricked into something that is not. So yeah, I do really feel for them. And I wonder, that's why I asked you, what was the reason behind him wanting to go to Austria? It could be loads of reasons, but
I mean, I think the reason was to have better life, you know, to make sure the family will be proud of him. For him, the idea to go back was more terrifying than anything else.
Yeah, it was like it was failure.
You let down the whole village. I mean, village, family, or whoever was now into that. No? Yes, it's this failure feeling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
Do you think it was a sweet time for him in Austria? And did he end up living in Spain? Was that how the story was concluded?
No, he went to Spain because he learned that there you can get this visum or permit of stay, which was at the time maybe, I think it was 5 years or something like that, or 5. And with this, you then had more access. And once you get this kind of visa, this can be extended easier than if you don't have anything. So for some reason, he wanted to be in Austria. But what I didn't write everything down. For example, they all have, they have a special church where they met, African church they call them. And I never went there. You know, we never really, we were just commuting, we were talking always on the street or in front of the villa or somewhere. No, he didn't visit me or I didn't visit him. It was all done on the street mainly. And, but I never, you know, there were limits. So I never went to this other church.
Weird, isn't it? Did he stay? So he did stay in Austria.
He returned from Spain to Austria.
And he made a home in Austria?
I don't know.
You don't know because you lost touch.
When he left, and then I left. And then actually, I had him on Facebook, but this Facebook doesn't exist anymore. And email address is gone. You know, all these people that I described there, like Father Matthew, who was in charge of the Africans there in Graz. I sent him an email just so to see if it's still there, like last week, because I was finishing that. Address not known. You know, if I wouldn't have pictures or this experience, I would think that I dreamt about that. You know, it's really, it happened in, let's say, 11, 12. Now it's 2021.
Just before
Just gone.
you showed the picture of Hope in your photograph of him being baptized,
Yeah.
you can see he's leaning to our right to have the baptism done.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of whether we were going to speak German for this meeting and judging what to do, etc. And I was looking for the German word for curve, which is abbiegen.
Yeah.
Kurve. Eine Kurve.
I was going to say abgebogen, like it's bowed off, it's like it's curved or something. I was actually going to use that word, and there was your picture with him curving off to one side. And
Where is it? I can.
strange coincidence, but
Mm.
it's a form of communication, isn't it? This African visual communication where they use these pictures to communicate.
Actually, you know, in Austria, you baptize babies.
Pardon?
In Austria, you get baptized when you're a baby, all right?
Unless it's some form of evangelical new wave church where they baptize adults.
Yeah, but okay, in Catholic Church normally, you know. And then I think he's like that because he's so tall.
Yeah.
And that's
Yes.
yeah. And that, for example, that's Father Matthew there.
I've spotted you. Sitting
Me,
on-
I'm here. No,
I
I'm
spotted-
here.
Is that you in the picture? Yeah, I thought that was you.
Yeah, because Father Matthew said, yeah, you have to be dressed in white. Okay, then.
You don't look quite as enthusiastic as you might.
Well, no.
Oh,
I didn't know what will happen there. Yeah. So yeah, that was that. No. But as I said, I'm really happy I had this experience. I think I should write the story, you know, if we should expand it and stuff, because it's a nice example. And then my question is always, if you do that, you try to help somebody who is obviously not observing the law. Are you helping or are you part of the problem?
A dilemma.
Yeah, I felt as an immigrant. I mean, the thing is that my family, my origins are Italian, so my great grandparents moved from Italy to Argentina. So sometimes we see, and there is sometimes that there is this perception, and maybe it's I was raised with that perception in that once you're an immigrant in a country, you're an immigrant. So that means that you can't integrate to the people, with the locals. So for when I decided to come here as an immigrant, I felt for many years I felt that I was I can't find the word in English.
What is it in Spanish?
I was taking the usurpar. I was taking the place. I was robbing somebody else's place from this country. Oh, I don't know if that's in good English. Sorry. And I think even though I have my qualifications and I was contributing, but it's just, I think it's a question of mindset. And sorry, I'm getting a little bit emotional.
It's okay. Yeah. That's it's not easy to leave a place, I would say. Okay, I changed in my life so far 12 countries.
Yeah.
But they're just me because my life is like that. But I understand what you are saying.
So I think I decided to be part of in order to provide some sort of solution to this country. So I started with the community, with the area I live in. So I said, well, what can I do to give back? Not just translations, because sometimes I felt at some point that just becoming a translator or being a translator was a little bit dry. I mean, you're in front of, at the end of the day, you're in front of the computer, typing away, and so I felt there was no connection with people. So that's probably why I decided to create my language hub. I mean, part translation in translation agency, part or company, part language school. So to give something of me, and so starting with teaching Spanish and English, which is what I am, and encourage people in the community to learn languages, which is what we want. And so yeah, that's probably how I felt, and so I just wanted to answer your question whether we are part of the problem or the solution. So
Well, it sounds like you're doing all right, actually. Well, yeah, because if you try and integrate and then and make new networks and communication, yeah, it's not easy. So yeah, well done, I'd say.
Thank
It's not easy. It's not easy at all. I've got to go, but this has been really interesting.
Well, thank you. So actually,
Thank you.
we're actually over the time. In December, Walter, what are we doing in December? Walter?
Good evening. I'm sorry for having joined a little later. Yes, we meet again in September and in December, and I would like to tell you something about the Christmas land of the Ore Mountains in Saxony, which has a very traditional background, and I would like to introduce this land, this region, which in Germany is well known for its Christmas traditions. So I try to give a small impression of that.
So we are doing Christmas. And
Yes.
actually, we'll meet this Saturday to fill out the form. It is always the forum, even here, for every single thing. And then we will advertise it. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. We go on. And
yeah, thank you very much. Yes. Is it 6th of December?
No, we are going for the 10th of December 11th. Or so 11th. It will be we'll know that this Saturday, and then we publish.
Was this the 17th?
Or 17th? Sorry.
Is it?
7th. It's Thursday in December.
Okay, we'll hear from you.
Yeah. Then thank you, Sue, Chel, Alex, Karina.
Thank you, Romana.
Romana, we later you could have a screenshot of all the participants here, and you can put it in
let's put
on LinkedIn.
Yeah, or LinkedIn. Okay, I could.
Can you do that?
Yeah, I can.
I mean, if you go back to the recording, and then even Sue will be there. Well, unless you, I don't know.
And do that.
And then we have